Landing Kai was nice. Turquoise seas and ocean breezes. Loving you was nice. But it's a new day, a new season. I've been sad inside. We adjust the light. And alright. We got a place to go home. I got so used to the changes. You should face it, I'm crazy. Shame on me for changing. Shame on you for staying the same. Shame on you. Shame on you for staying the same. Shame on me. No. This is how I get ready to film. My last relationship, I stopped singing. That bothers me so much because I feel like my voice just never came back. And since then, it's like I sing all the time now because I'm like, it must be able to come back. I just miss that part of me. I miss the part of me that would sing. I can't believe I let myself get to that where, you know, sometimes you get caught up in somebody else's world and then you just forget about your own. So sometimes when you're finding yourself, it's like you're remembering who you were. In my case, I have to like really not beat myself up for it because music was such a big part of my life, and I let myself down, I feel like, because I took on a world that I didn't even love. I was so unhappy because ever since I was 9, I would write music. I would sit in my room. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have none of these apps that we have now. Didn't have a phone. My first cell phone I got was from my older brother, who, you know, I've told you on this channel, that's Paz, and all I had on it was that Snakes game. So I would be in my room writing music, and that was my life. And I would go to the studio all the time. I remember I won a competition in Buffalo, but I didn't have the support with me, so I just kind of felt so lonely. I did have some support, but I didn't have like my musical support. I didn't have my producer there with me. I didn't have people from the studio there with me. I had my brother and my best friend at the time. They drove down with me, but I wasn't prepared, you know. I didn't think I was gonna win, you know. So after that happened, all my music just fell off because, like I said, I was in a different relationship, and I just feel like a big part of me, including my music, was vamos, just erased. So when you see me singing like this, it's literally me. This is how I prepare for my day. Basically, your life, it won't change unless you make that decision that the bare minimum is no longer enough. We tend to accept things out of different reasons. You know, life will hit you in a way where when you look back, you lost years just accepting less. And it hurts. It really does hurt. It hurts you because you look at the friends you've lost, the career opportunities, the time that you've lost. Last year alone, I traveled twice. I haven't traveled before that in like 8 to 10 years. When I look back, I look at, okay, what I want to change going forward is the way I travel. Sometimes we want to look forward, but we have to look back at what made us happy last year. And we also want to look at what made us sad last year. And that's how you build a better future. You can't just look ahead without knowing what was behind and what didn't fulfill you. One of my friends sent me a podcast to listen to, and I didn't finish watching the whole thing yet, but it was talking about that, about looking forward. And if we are planning ahead, we also have to look back at the last 12 months and see, what did I do that made me happy? What did I do that wasn't fulfilling? Like, you have to ask yourself questions that not only are for the future and just looking forward and just trying to plan from there. You have to know where that is coming from. That price that you pay for accepting less, not only the time, but like, you be getting older. Those gray hairs are no joke, and when they come, they come. And I come from a family where my grandma, she had that gray patch in the front of her head. So for me, it's like, girl, you better hurry, because some of the things, like, I inherit from both sides of my family. So I look back and I get upset, like I get mad at myself, but I have to remember that, you know, I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes, and those mistakes sometimes is what makes you stronger. When you settle, it erases a huge part of you. Some people are lucky enough to snap out of it and realize that, you know, they don't want to settle for less. And it's true. Don't settle for less. You deserve the best. You have one life to live. Why are you settling? Why are you settling because somebody wants you to settle? And I say relationship because that's something that happened to me. And I feel like a lot of people, they settle in relationships, and one of the main reasons is from loneliness. That loneliness, it makes you stay somewhere that you're not even supposed to stay in. It makes you accept that part of you that is not even supposed to be there. It makes you accept somebody's nonsense. And then when you realize yourself, it's crazy for the person involved too, because now they're looking at you like you're just some evil person who just wants to walk away, who wants to stop messing around with them, who wants to stop being around them, when it's really you loving yourself enough to want you more than that situation. I didn't want to survive emotionally off just breadcrumbs alone, because what it is just some crumbs. It's not even the whole loaf of bread, guys. Crumbs don't fill you. Crumbs just make sure that, you know, you're waking up every day, you're existing, but you're not really living. So it hits different, even when we have to change that, even the way we date now. You know, like, even that's a whole nother topic. When we date now, it's different. People had more intentions back then. Now it just feels like there's so many options for people. They feel like they have so many options because the internet makes them feel like, oh, okay, if this doesn't work out, I have this next person. People tried. People wanted to make things work. People will go after that girl that they wanted. But now it's like, okay, if it don't work out with you, there's always, you know, somebody else in my DMs. When this generation just looks at life that way, the families that are going to be out there is going to be very slim. Very slim. Because people are not understanding that we need family. You need to have your person. You can't have multiple people. What kind of life is that? It's very costly. It's very expensive. So the younger generation is just going crazy sometimes because they weren't built like us. No, they were not. They couldn't stand a chance. The things that we have to put up with sometimes, just in life in general, how we go about things. When you stop settling, you know, life feels less like a job. It feels like a job when you're settling, because you have to wake up and face this reality that you don't like. But you're just there because life. You're there because you're in survival mode. You're there because you're scared to start over. That fear of starting over, it makes you accept things. Because when you're like, what is really out there? Am I really gonna get to know crazy people? It's so scary to start over, even in a relationship these days, because the options seem frightening, and the time you want to invest into people and them not being serious is just extremely draining. So you just stick with the poison, you know. But is that better? To me, I feel like you just lose yourself even more. You have to have faith and just move in the fear even when it comes to that. Or just even find yourself so you don't end up wasting your time. Because sometimes you end up picking up poison because you didn't fix yourself. Jumping from one person to the other, that does not help. when you're damaged from simply accepting that life that you just came out of, it's a lot of work that you have to do so that you yourself don't get stuck in that situation again. Can you imagine? Leaving something so draining, so toxic, so manipulative, somewhere where you just really lost yourself just to go lose yourself again. And to have even 10 times worse of a person because you yourself didn't fix yourself. You gotta raise that bar for yourself. It's like a shift in energy. When you raise it, everything shifts. You stop engaging in conversations that drain you. I can't stand that anymore. I used to just give people that part of me where it's like, I'll entertain it just because I don't want to make them feel bad. But when I tell you, I would not dare to do that anymore. Because why am I doing that? You won't want to be in environments that make you feel less than. You'll really be picky where you're at. You'll be picky who you surround yourself with. Once you start noticing where you need to be and who you need to be around, it helps with that energy that you build. You will think more highly of yourself. Even certain people won't bring you around certain people because they know that you're not gonna accept it anymore. I couldn't stand when I would have to be around certain people because I'm simply with this person, so it's like now I have to tolerate this other person. And they know that these other people don't care about me. They don't have my best interest at heart. But because I'm accepting this life, I'm accepting the baggage that comes with it. You literally become somebody you would be proud to choose. When you really think of yourself, right? You have to think of yourself even as a reflection. You have to be like, would I love this girl? Would I want to be in a relationship with this girl? You have to love yourself enough to be like, I would choose her. You won't settle in the sense of seeking validation from people that didn't count you in the first place. Seeking validation makes you settle for the wrong people in your life. Settle in situations that you know you weren't supposed to be in. But because you get validation there and you don't think that you're worthy enough to get validation in higher places, is why that change doesn't even happen in the first place, because of where you see yourself mentally. You have to see yourself in the bigger picture of things. You have to see yourself so high. That's why it's so important to say nice things to yourself, to think of yourself positively. Like I said, I was upset with myself for accepting things. I was upset with myself for settling because I didn't feel like I deserved more. And life will make it seem that way. At the time I was having a baby, I felt like, okay, now I have to settle down. I have to put music aside and I have to focus on this. But while I was doing that, it's like I lost myself. I had a baby in a time where the world completely shifted on me. It was just so hard to pick up the pieces, not only from that, but from the world's chaos. So when I did find myself and I look back on old pictures and I'm like, I didn't even do my hair for a year, for years. It was so hard to climb back out of it. And the minute I climbed out of it, it's like, it's hard, right? But you start seeing yourself pick yourself up. And then when you go through those seasons, there's sad moments, there's uplifting moments. It's such a roller coaster, but finding yourself just feels so nice. Choosing yourself first is number one. Be respectful to others. Take them into consideration. I'm not saying to not consider people, but considering yourself first is major key to your life. You got to choose you first. You realizing when you stop settling is when real life begins. That's when you start really living and not just existing. It's such a sad feeling to just wake up and just exist every day and not creating moments, even little moments. I rather moments than material things. That's what makes me happy. I will shop on a budget to go take that vacation. I see those people on TikTok, they'll put up videos about packing up with your Shen clothes and taking that trip. When I had to go back to Jamaica the first time, a lot of my stuff were cheap stuff from Shen. I found stuff on clearance because preparing for that trip is very costly. For the ticket, I didn't even have luggage because I didn't go away for the longest time. But that experience meant so much more to me than going with the most expensive clothes and bags and stuff. Like, I had them, but they were cheaper. Just knowing where I had to budget in order to make that experience happen, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Create experiences sometimes to just even find yourself. I had to be around people that I felt and knew that loved me. To be honest, it made certain people upset. It made people upset because it's like, why aren't you including me? But if you were part of my sadness, why would I bring sadness with me? I was so happy to just make this new experience in my life. And when I tell you, that's what I miss. That is what made me find me, was literally coming out of my zone of just feeling so stuck and just getting out and taking that trip by myself changed a lot of me. I had to go through a lot. I went through a lot that year. That was the year where my brother was murdered, and I was like, life. What is man? We're here today. We could be gone any minute. Whenever I get that chance to have that experience and connect with myself, that is so important. So if you love me, you will make me be me to even be there for you. Because if I'm not me and I snap out of it, so be it. Because I'm going to choose me first all the time from here on out. Because I know where I'm coming from, and I know what I lost all that time. Lost my voice, could barely sing anymore. I don't feel confident in my voice. I lost out on so many experiences. But the minute you stop settling is when life really starts being so fulfilling and has so much meaning to it. Always remember to choose you first. Choose God and choose you. Because you're the only person who's going to look out for you the most. Yes, you may have people who love you and who'll be there for you, but you got to choose you. Even if you want them to love you, you got to show them how much you mean to you. Right? I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a long time coming for me. I'm not really a talker, you know. Like, I am a talker once I get to know you. So I feel like I've got to know you guys over the years. So it's easier for me to be myself now. And I like it. Don't forget to like if you haven't liked already. Also press the hype button. It really does help my channel out so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share this video, you guys, because it may help somebody else. And don't forget to look back on other videos that I have made. If you like this one, you most likely like another one. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.